Corals are the oldest living things in the ocean. Some species are over 4,000 years old. Extremely slow growing, some corals grow only a millimeter a year. Coral forests can be found across the globe, including at great depths and in icy Arctic waters. They provide invaluable habitat for diverse marine life. Yet, beside their age and importance, we know very little about them. Over 3,300 species of cold water corals have been identified so far, but scientists are still finding new species.
With this donation, the museum now has a better sample of life in the ocean and is able to provide great samples for scientists to study and describe the biodiversity and hopefully help in protecting it.
Cold water corals are important because of the functional roles they play. And the best way that I like to explain it to people is the analogy of how a bird uses a tree. They forage between the branches. It's a rest area from wind or snowstorms. It's a great place to build your nest and raise your young. And it's a barrier between you and the larger predator that's trying to eat you.
Now we have here a very good example of a deep water coral that's called a bubblegum coral because of its color and a bit of its shape there. Looks like lumps of bubblegum, and it's a very significant group of species. We find them all over the sea bottom, all around the world. They have different species that will live, attach on them, and will feed off of them, just like they're sitting on a branch of them. And so they're very representative of the sea bottom and a larger species that can live for hundreds and possibly thousands of years.
The samples that we donated to the Canadian Museum of Nature came from a wide range, starting up in Baffin Bay, up in the Arctic, going right down to the Grand Banks of Newfoundland. I think the samples, they were collected between less than 1,500 meters for the DFO trawl survey samples. And for ROPOS or the ROV, we went down to 3,000 meters and collected material. You protect the corals, you protect a lot of other things. But because it's in the deep sea, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, and people don't make that connection. That's why we, one of the main drivers behind donating this material to the museum so that others can see what we see and other researchers can study the specimens that we donated.
It's estimated that the museum's collection contains 14.6 million specimens. Now, our current collection of corals was relatively small because it's not easy to go collect these corals. They're called cold water or deep water corals, so not easy to reach at the bottom. But the donation from Fisheries and Oceans, that 500 specimens and more, represent a significant addition to our collection.
We know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the ocean depths. But with advances in remote control submersible devices, our knowledge is ever expanding. The world of deep sea coral is slowly revealing its secrets. It's an habitat worth understanding and protecting.